Good morning. Whilst I was at the Max Power reunion at last weekend, I did bump into my old friend Dave the Trimmer. And Dave said, come on over, Steve, and check out some of the things that we got going on, because we got some good cars and for some stuff at the minute. So that's what we're doing today. Going to pop over and see Dave the Trimmer, see what he's up to. Okay, so Dave the Trimmer is not known as Dave the Trimmer in our house, so I'll let you into a little secret. When we first met him many years ago, Lindsay got confused with his name and called him John the Stitch. So in our house he's known as John the Stitch. But don't tell him I told you that. And certainly don't call him that. So Dave's got a unit just 10 minutes outside Milton Keynes. Just driving through Mulso now. Got the Carrington Arms in Mulso. Good bit of food there. And a couple of Tesla chargers there. So well worth knowing if you've got a Tesla. So I'm here with Dave. This is Dave the Trimmer, guys, if you haven't met Dave. You are quite famous in trimming of high-end cars, sports cars. Tell me how you got started.
Something I always wanted to be in was the motor trade. From a young age, messing about with bikes, repairing cars with uncles and stuff like that. And I wanted to get in the motor trade, so contacted local companies that did like tyre and exhaust, but I didn't even get past the interview stage. But where I lived near Dunstable, there was a careers office and there was a board of jobs, and on that board was an advertised car upholstery, and it had car in that title, and I was like, must be something to do with the motor trade. So went for that interview, got the job straight away. Started on the Monday. I spent a couple of years sort of learning the craft there with Barton and Son in Luton. And then a job come up at Aston Martin, Newport Pagnell.
Brilliant.
Working on the line, DB7, and then on to Vanquish. Spent a couple of years there, maybe 18 months, not sure, can't remember that. But it wasn't really for me, because it was more production, and so you were doing the same thing day in, day out.
But again, trimming.
Cool. It was trimming, and it was cool. You were learning different techniques of that vehicle. You weren't doing the same thing forever, but you got moved from post and around the trim shop. But yeah, I went back to Malcolm's in Luton and spent probably 3, maybe 4 years there, just doing different stuff. A little bit like what we do here, where it's not one brand of car. It's I mean, if you look around the unit, there's a variety there.
Certainly is, yeah.
So and then I went to work for another company doing trim again for a couple of years, but I was made redundant from there, and at that point when I was given the cheque for redundancy, I put that straight into a deposit on a unit.
So when was it? What year did we start?
Oh, that was 2012.
Okay, so nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Scary to start off with, I'm guessing?
Oh God, yeah.
Making that leap, it was for me, I know, starting.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, it's the big jump, isn't it?
Of course it is. And having that buffer, that's what helps, having that little redundancy package, it gives you the...
You couldn't do it any other way,
Yeah.
because it's a big investment to start laying down 3 months rent, and then you've got to find insurance, and all the overheads start coming in, don't they? So yeah, it's a big jump.
Okay, and then you took your first employee on?
I took Adam on.
Yeah.
Was it 8 months after, wasn't it, Adam? October time? Yeah, it was about 9 months.
He's been with you from nearly the start.
But yeah, he's the oldest employee that we've got.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
And the cars you're trimming now, I know you trim quite a variety, and I know you do many 911s. I know over the years you went through a TVR stage as well. So.
In the early stages, yeah, it was TVR. A friend of mine owned a TVR body shop in Northampton, and everything that he needed doing, we did, and it just snowballed from there. And then you get a reputation for doing a lot of TVRs and also VX220s as well. We did a lot of those.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, now it's predominantly Porsches and classic Astons, Bentleys as well. Do some work for a Bentley specialist local to us. But yeah, there's still the odd bits in between, and we don't say no to anything. But there is a couple of marques that we do a lot of.
As I can see around. Can we take a look at some of the cars and some of the stuff you're up to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So walk us through this 911 that you got in here, which is completely stripped down.
Yeah, so this is a 1966 911, so it's quite an early 911. It's a left-hand drive car, and that's not sure it's imported from maybe America, but we are struggling to find original spec. We know it was black, but we want to know the factory options and stuff, so we're trying to get that information from Germany so we can put it back, restore it to how it should, or how it left the factory.
Right.
Because it's quite important. It will have more value if it's correct.
And it's been completely stripped
Dipped, loads of new metal work.
It's an exciting project, but one that's going to take a while, I guess, to get right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it's going to be nice when it's done, but yeah, it's all about getting that originality in there, and that's what we're
Getting
waiting
it
to
right
find out.
back to exactly how it was originally. No, I get you. Right, so we've got another 911 here. Do you want to walk me through this one?
This one is a 2010 997 Sport Classic, 250 worldwide, so this low number car. But this is quite leggy in terms of its mileage. Someone actually used it in its early years. It's got 35,000 miles, which isn't a lot.
It isn't a lot in normal car terms.
In normal car terms, but in this car's term, like this, it's got high mileage for what this car is, because it's a rare car. So there was wear on the bolsters and nicks and scratches here and there. So we're just tidying it. But like, this is the seats for it. They've been trimmed, so it's all new leather down the sides and recreating the Sport Classic logo in there.
Perfect.
And there's a few bits we've had to buy from Porsche, like the handbrake handle and the gear knob, which are all scratched because they're billet aluminium. But it's quite an interesting project because it's such a rare car.
But retrimming it, new bits on it, make it look like new again.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Right, Dave, we've got an Aston Martin here, another one that you do a few of.
Yeah.
Walk me through this one.
This one is it left the factory as an Aston Martin DB4 back in the 60s, but it's been rebodied and restored into a DB4 GT Zagato. So it's handcrafted aluminium body, but on the original DB4 chassis. So it's got pedigree there.
Right.
It is a recreation that's valuable, but I don't know how to explain it better than that, really.
Well, walk me through. You did explain the numbers earlier. Walk me through the numbers. What this would have cost, what the actual original would be worth now, and what this would be worth now.
So an original, that the low numbers, there's 11 built worldwide. That's it. The recreations that they're building on the original chassis are worth about $1 million. So these recreations are $1 million. The other ones are 15 million plus. It's scary.
I can see why they're doing it. Yeah, there's a big difference in it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's still, like you say, still got the pedigree of the Aston Martin DB4.
And in fairness, these recreations, because of the technology that we've all got at our hands nowadays, they're probably built better than the originals as well.
Yeah. And you probably won't see somebody driving an original on the road.
Absolutely not.
Where you may see one of these at a show or something. Yeah. Right, Dave, we've got a couple of 911 Targas in here.
Yeah.
You want to walk me through what's happening with them?
So one's older than the other. This is an 80s, that's a 70s Targa. But this one's coming for a new roof, full overhaul, inside and out, paint the frame, make it as good as new and as wind tight as possible. They're quite prone for wind noise, and we try to get them as good as possible across the front, and we're doing a couple of small bits and pieces inside them in terms of trim repairs and retrimming.
Gotcha.
But we're just waiting for some parts to come in to finish that one. And then this one here, this has been a nut and bolt restoration by a company called Auto Farm near Bicester. And again, we're doing a Targa roof overhaul and fitting some front seat belts with inertia reel, whereas it just had lap belts from factory, but a customer wants.
So they're doing the main restoration.
Yeah.
You're doing kind of seat belts, Targa roof. That's your kind of bread and butter there.
Anything internal, really. And the convertible part of the car, we all take care of.
I can't do this video without including your 93 Caddy pickup.
Yeah.
Let's know a little bit about that, mate.
So I bought this nearly 4 years ago, I think, and it was a little bit tired. It was originally white, and I stripped it down, colour changed the engine because the diesel engine in it was about 80 brake, which is pretty woeful. So yeah, I've put a 1.8 turbo 20 valve in there. I've lowered it. It's about 250 brake horsepower. Upgraded the brakes and fully trimmed it as well. So it's the complete package.
It not only looks good, it actually performs and all.
Oh, it goes like stink. Yeah.
Right, and it's like on rails, I guess, with a.
Not really, no.
No.
It's still on its original leaf suspension at the back, so
right.
It's a little bit skitty.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bouncy.
But looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
And fun to drive.
It is good fun. Yeah, it's proper puts a smile on your face.
And turn some heads, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, thanks for showing me around and showing me some of the awesome jobs you're doing in the workshop today. Tell me, I know you're booked up in advance, so if somebody wants a retrim, what's the kind of average waiting time we're looking at?
Average wait on a full retrim would be about 4 months at the minute.
Wow.
We like repairs and hoods are sooner than that, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Try and plan.
Absolutely, and we've seen it's high-end stuff you do. So I'll put a link in the description, guys. Link to the website and the phone number.
Yeah.
Certainly get in touch, but it is high-end stuff that you do. You've seen the kind of stuff you do.
Yeah.
Your Astons, your Porsches, your Ferraris, your stuff like that.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming over.
So there you have it, guys. Dave the Trimmer, or John the Stitch, as Lindsay likes to call him. Lovely guy. Does such good work, such quality, got such a good name in the industry, and booked up 4 months in advance. So that must say a lot about his work. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.